Ian,
Yes.
Nintendo's going after some hackers.
Mm-hmm.
They're going after Pixie Cut Angelina Jolie here. Nintendo files lawsuits and crackdown against Switch hackers. 2 new lawsuits were filed on Friday, the past Friday, which would have been the 15th. Nintendo America has filed 2 lawsuits on Friday against Nintendo Switch hack resellers that sell software to play pirated games, according to court documents obtained by Polygon. The first lawsuit was filed on Friday in Ohio court against Tom Diltz Jr., the alleged operator of the website UberChips. That's a funny name for a website. The second lawsuit was filed in Seattle court the same day against a number of anonymous defendants from a selection of websites. All defendants reportedly sell products from a group of anonymous hackers called Team Executor. Nintendo's lawyers described the products as an authorized operating system and accompanying piracy tools that install it. Okay, these products get you around the protection measures to prevent unauthorized access and copying. Once it's disabled, players can download the unauthorized operating system and play pirated video games. Okay, so this happens every so often. It seems to happen. It happened with the DS and 3DS, where Nintendo goes after the people that make the what was it like? What was the big pop on the DS? The R4 or whatever it was.
The R4, yeah.
Where you load up your ROMs on a little memory, whether it's compact flash or regular memory, you put it in and you get your operating system. So this isn't surprising. I'm not even aware of this being a thing on the Switch. Obviously, I'm behind the times on this.
We've talked about it.
Have we?
We've talked about Switch hacking.
Okay, I don't remember to this extent. Uberchips.com. Is the website still up? It's always good when you get a message saying this site might not be protected when you go to it. So it's an unsafe site going to uberchips.com right now. I don't know if that's Nintendo's doing or not. It says at the time of this writing, the UberChips website appears to be offline under scheduled maintenance. Other websites listed in the second lawsuit are still operating. A kit used for hacking the Switch is listed at $48. It also sells products for the Super Nintendo Classic, PlayStation Mini, 3DS, and Game Boy Advance. Nintendo is seeking $2,500 per trafficking violation in each of these cases, as well as a permanent injunction to stop operations of these websites. That means basically per trafficking violation would be per sale, I believe. So yes. That means if you sold 100 of these, they're coming after you for patent me for $250,000.
Right.
They're coming after you. So this is
probably sold more than 100.
That's the point. Like this is to put these people into bankruptcy. That's what they're doing here. So it's not surprising Nintendo would do this. I just this stuff becomes more public now when you see this happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add other than what I usually say in these sorts of situations, and that is I have no real problem with people hacking and fucking around with this stuff. It's always going to exist. It's when you start trying to sell this stuff for money that's when they're obviously going to come after you. Yeah. When you're profiting off of that sort of thing
openly.
That's a level of hubris, braggadocio, cojones, eggs.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You got those almonds.
By the way, UberChips' Facebook page is also down, so they're taking this obviously seriously. They're praying for mercy, which Nintendo will show very little. Obviously, they're making an example out of it.
Why would you think that this is something that you could do online and get? That's the thing that further confuses me. We're gonna do it, and this time we're not gonna get in trouble. It's fucking dumb.
There's probably been other sites I've gotten away for a while, but they're also probably ones based in Eastern Europe or somewhere, sure. or China, where the jurisdiction doesn't carry over as easily. Some countries we don't have good agreements with in terms of copyright and patent rip-offs and things like that. But yeah, if you're operating in the U.S., oh boy, Nintendo's going to come after you. Yeah, I don't remember this happening. What was that big one back in the day? Sorry, I forget if it was this site or this was a forum. I don't want to call out a website that's not doing it. I forget, but there has always been sites that existed where you can find, 10, 15 years ago, you'd find some of this stuff. And maybe back then, Nintendo, I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't keeping up with Nintendo's sort of legal issues with these sites 10, 15 years ago. They probably did it. We just didn't hear about it.
Sure.
They probably went after them. But, you can probably still buy some of the older Flash devices here and there. I would say this on Nintendo. Why aren't you going after all the NES devices, NES Classics and Super Nintendo Classics being hawked on eBay that are hacked? Why don't you do that and cut out that market at its knees? and then have and go after.
My guess is because the NES Classic is not making them money anymore. The Switch is.
But in theory, it's still hurting your sales, and people want to get the NES online. So
this is where I'm going to have to make the argument that it's only hurting their sales if they actually make this shit available elsewhere, and there's stuff that isn't. I mean,
So you don't see the Nintendo saying, well, if it's a hacked NES Classic, we already sold it to someone, the NES Classic originally, it's not hurting us as much of them hacking it after the fact versus
I think it's just a matter
games.
of they have to figure out their priorities, and I would definitely assume the Switch is their priority, not a plug and play.
But,
I mean, as nice as it was, it's a plug and play toy.
But it's the same thing as going after a ROM site. You're providing ROMs, and at that point they're selling them.
I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but I honestly think Nintendo looks at it and goes, that's a toy.
Small potatoes.
Why would we care?
They can't proliferate and create. You're not cutting into direct sales of a product we're currently offering anymore.
It's also a limited stock. There's only so many of those around.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like a ROM site where that exists.
You can go to
perpetually.
you can go to millions of people. I get that. I just think it's interesting, what they're doing here. So I wonder I don't know how it works when you have an anonymous lawsuit against anonymous people. I guess that means you're still trying to find out who they are, but you know the websites obviously that are operating. Then you're going to find out. You're going to send out your Nintendo ninjas and detectives in order to find out who the identities are.
Right.
I guess that's probably what's happening here. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it.